Once upon a time, back in 1802, Napoleon had forced Spain to give the Louisiana territory to the French, even though they signed a treaty to be able to keep the land. Later in 1803, there was a president who was named Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson made an offer for the Louisiana territory for around $15 million, which is about 3 cents per acre, and this doubled the size of the U.S. Buying the land was a good idea and a great purchase because without it, we probably wouldn't have the land we have today. But this purchase angered the natives because when we bought the land, we took their land.
Thomas Jefferson was interested in knowing more about the Mississippi River and wanted to find a water route to the Pacific Ocean. He also wanted to make friendly contact with the Indian groups and expand the United States. To start the expedition, Jefferson chose his young secretary, Meriwether Lewis. Lewis invited his friend William Clark to share the leadership.
Sacagawea was a Shoshone woman who was kidnapped by the Hidatsa tribe. She then got pregnant. She was in charge of navigating the territory because she was familiar with it. She was also in charge of finding food and talking to the other Native Americans.
On their voyage, they reached the Mandan villages in late October in 1804, which is where they spent the winter. They hired Toussaint Charbonneau, who was an interpreter, and his wife Sacagawea. Sacagawea had given birth to a baby boy, but this didn't stop her from carrying him along on the journey. As a Shoshone interpreter, Sacagawea was very helpful. And as they were exploring, they had made many new discoveries, including new animal species. They had to cross the Rocky Mountains, which was going to be very difficult. And then on November 7th, 1805, after a long journey of nearly 18 months, William Clark wrote in his journal about how they had reached the Pacific later that month. A few miles from the shore, they built a stockade called Fort Clatsop. There they spent the rainy winter before the long journey home.
William Clark was an expert mapmaker, a soldier, explorer, outdoorsman, and proved to be a natural leader.
I'm amazing.
The Lewis and Clark expedition and the Manifest Destiny both expanded the United States. The Louisiana Purchase and Lewis and Clark expedition made the United States of America larger, and it was the start of exploring the land and understanding it. The Manifest Destiny is where people actually started moving more west.